Ideally, I like to play at the level because I know exactly what my risk to reward is when I play at, at the exact point. Sometimes like a pop above this and then a rejection and then I'll get in or whatever. But on this day in particular, AMD missed me by 7 cents and continued down. What's up, PBT? Megan here with the Stock Trading Simulator. And today I'm going to talk about second chances. So everybody likes a second chance, and a lot of the times stocks will give you a second chance and sometimes even a third chance. And once we solidify this sort of mantra in our brains, it's a little bit easier to not chase the stock when it leaves without you. And sometimes they will leave without you and never come back. And it's better to just protect your capital rather than chasing it and getting a terrible injury, right? So here's AMD from yesterday, and I actually did take this trade, and I actually did take it on the second opportunity. So I want to go through that. What I like here on AMD is we're in this nice downtrend, and when a stock is in a downtrend on the higher time frame, I'm typically now looking for a range where it might stop for a little while and stall and consolidate. So when we take a look at AMD, we can see this nice range that it is set previously, and it's right here, and we have entered into the top side of the range. So I'm either expecting it to kind of bounce from this area or kind of slow down and go into the area and establish itself within the range again. So let's take it over to the 5-minute chart and just zoom in a little bit. So the level that I have on AMD is 94.20. And, I'm interested in either a short or long play at 94.20. If it got up here and consolidated, I would take it as a continuation to the long side if it opened here and just went straight up to it, because we would have room within the ATR for that move, for it to move a little bit further. Again, it depends on really what the market is doing and what the stock overall is doing, but I'm interested in playing it either way. Ideally, I would prefer to play it short because I would be then going with the trend. AMD has been very, very weak. So, taking that short play after the pop into the level would be ideal for me. But let's just hit play on this and see how it plays out. So let's zoom in a little bit. So, we're slowly climbing up to the level, and I'm just watching as AMD pushes here. And for me, the day that this happened, I actually had a limit order at my level. So I was watching something else and, was just expecting my limit order to get triggered, and then I would pop over the stock and play it. So we're pushing up the level, and it's looking pretty strong. So we're doing good there. And we're pretty close, but it's starting to stall. And, had I been watching this and actually watching the tape in L2, if I had noticed anything, peculiar or showing that there were a lot of sellers on the tape or something like that, there's a chance that I would have got in before the level. Ideally, I like to play at the level because I know exactly what my risk to reward is when I play at the exact point. Sometimes like a pop above this and then a rejection and then I'll get in or whatever. But on this day in particular, AMD missed me by 7 cents and continued down. So at this point, I'm like, bummer, it missed me. Now I have to go find something else to play. And yeah, of course you can find something else to play, but you can also still keep it on your watch list because there is a chance that it will come back up for a second test of a level, especially when it's a higher time frame level like that. There's a lot of buyers and sellers within that range that are probably going to be, taking profit or, getting in and out of the trade. So you could take a different setup into this play if you miss it, right? Maybe take a pullback and then get into it then. But ideally, playing the level is the safest, at least for me. So I'm going to wait and just see if it gets back to that level. I don't feel like chasing it down here because if I try to get in here, and suddenly the stock shoots back up this way and I get stopped out, let's say my stop is above these candles. Well, if I get stopped out here and my level is here, I don't actually know if I was wrong or not because I'm below my level. So I'm still kind of right, but I got stopped out because, my risk tolerance wasn't to let it go all the way up here if I entered in down here. So anyways, let's speed this up a little bit. So all right, AMD is rolling over. Okay, it's back at the level. And now what I like to see when it gets back to a level for a retest is it's either going to be a quick rejection of it or a fake breakout of it, or a range is going to establish around it. And the third one is actually my favorite because it gives the stock a little bit of time and it gives you a smaller time frame and an intraday range to play off of rather than just the level itself. So in the morning, things move really quickly. We reject an area and it just, stocks move, rather quickly. But later in the morning and later in the, in the afternoon and in the day, once we test a level again, and there's a good chance that if it establishes a range around here, instead of shooting off of it very quickly, that we have a chance to play whatever range it establishes. So let me just speed this up a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so as you can see, it's just forming a little bit of consolidation, a range around the level. So again, 94.20 is the level, so we're starting to see this range set up. I'm just gonna speed it up. So what I wanna do, as I'm watching this unfold, because I haven't really seen a solid like 5-minute candle form below the level, right? Indicating that it's ready to move. It's just kind of stuck here. So I would be looking at it to break basically this range, right? So we're kind of setting up this area. I can do it over here on the 2-minute chart too, so you can see it a little bit better rather than just a bunch of dojis. But we're basically in this little area here. So if I wanted to play this long in the morning, I would have played it, pretty much near the level, short as well. But if I want to play this later in the day and I see a range like this set up, instead of playing it directly at the level, I would be playing it for a break of this range that's formed around it. And that usually offers the best risk to reward. So let's just speed this up a little bit. So you can see the range is still kind of establishing. It hasn't decided what it wants to do yet. So I'm waiting for it to make up its mind. So we'll just hit play here. And get 100 shares or so in here. And as you can see, like I said, it's still in this range. And now I'm waiting for a break of it. And so what's great about intraday ranges like this, especially on smaller time frames, like a 2-minute or 5-minute, is you can play it at the break of the range, but a lot of times it'll also come back and test the intraday range. So now I've got this trial to get up to the range here. I missed it. It's giving me a second chance to get up to the higher time frame range here. And now I've got a whole new range here on the intraday that I can play off of around the higher time frame range. So I'm just kind of watching. It looks like it's breaking, sort of. See, the bottom of my range is like here. Yeah, that looks like a break. So I'm going to enter here. Like I said, this is basically the lower end of the range, and this is the top end of the range. So now I'm in the trade. And now either you can do what's comfortable to you, but you could either have your stop above the higher time frame level, or you could now put it above the intraday range as well. All right, so we're just kind of in this trade, and I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit. All right, so, we're pulling back and we're testing the bottom of this level, right? So if you missed it on the first drop and you don't want to chase it here, right? Because that's pretty far from here and here, you can wait and see what happens as it comes up to this level. As you can see, it's pushing up through it, but it is struggling a little bit. So I could even, at the loss of that level, I could have entered in there. I wasn't keyed up with my mouse, so I didn't add to it, but that would give you another opportunity. So technically AMD had 3 opportunities yesterday to play in this area, and it was a great day for it. So we just kind of letting it do its thing. I'm just going to speed it up. So I would take partials. I like whole dollars, so here's a good spot to take a partial. And then usually the other places that I'm looking for partials would be other ranges to the downside. So I like this area here, right? So like 92.70-ish or so, I would be interested in a partial. And I'll just speed it up a little bit. See if it ever gets down there. Oh, it wicked off of it. Let's see if it gives us another chance. All right, so there we go. So I'm just gonna buy the rest of those, and now I'm all out of the trade. So yeah, a decent day for AMD that day. Like I said, it doesn't hurt to wait for the stock to come back to your level. A lot of times they will offer a second chance. And in AMD's case yesterday, it offered 3 chances to take this trade. So, be convicted, don't chase the stock, play your level, and have a good time. That's what this is all about. All right, guys. So please like, subscribe, check out the stock trading simulator, join us in the chat room. We love to see your trades, and we will catch you later. Peace.